Well, Democratic leaders in Congress are pressing for hearings on police tactics and race following the two recent killings of unarmed black men by police. 3 representatives from the Congressional Black Caucus made the request in a letter today, stating that these recent incidents raise issues that Congress needs to address, like the grand jury process and policies for use of force. Speaker John Boehner has indicated that he is open to hearings on these issues. Well, students at 3 top law schools are asking to delay their final exams because of the recent grand jury decisions. Now, groups at Harvard, Georgetown, and Columbia law schools say protests have prevented many students from preparing. University officials for each school say students may request to reschedule tests, but they will be decided individually. And the New York Times reports that Columbia students will be able to delay exams under existing policies for, quote, trauma during exam period. Well, a highly controversial report from Senate Democrats details CIA torture and alleged the agency's interrogation of terror suspects was more brutal than officials acknowledged and not effective in gaining intelligence. Most Republicans call the report's findings flawed and biased. U.S. military installations and embassies are on alert today after the release. Craig Boswell is on Capitol Hill with the details.
This is what it looks like.
Senator Dianne Feinstein says a review of a secret CIA detention and interrogation program of terror suspects after 9/11 is too important to shelve.
They describe brutal, around-the-clock interrogations.
The Democratic Senators Committee carried out the 5-year review, concluding the CIA routinely went beyond what was legally allowable. Enhanced interrogation techniques weren't effective in getting information, and the agency systematically lied about the effectiveness of the program in order to keep it going. Republican Senator John McCain was tortured in Vietnam.
I know from personal experience that the abuse of prisoners will produce more bad than good intelligence.
Republicans on Feinstein's committee did not participate in writing the report, and many in the GOP dispute the overall findings.
This particular release, in my judgment, serves no purpose whatsoever other than to endanger Americans around the world.
Charlie Allen, a former CIA assistant director, says the program saved lives.
I think at the time we had to know what was going on, and we got the information.
The CIA says it operated within the law at the time, carrying out a program authorized by the White House and the Justice Department. Craig Boswell, Channel 2 News.
Well, the White House says it will leave it up to the Department of Justice to determine if any crimes were committed or if CIA officials lied to Congress. The DOJ says it has reviewed the report and is not planning to prosecute any CIA officers. Meanwhile, Secretary of State John Kerry has issued a warning to Congress regarding military operations against ISIS. Today, Kerry asked Congress for an authorization of military force to formally give the Obama administration authority to fight ISIS overseas. Right now, President Obama is using congressional authorizations used by President George W. Bush following 9/11. But today, Kerry said authorization from Congress should not limit operations to just Iraq and Syria, and even allow for the possibility of ground troops.
In our view, it would be a mistake to advertise to ISIL that there are safe havens for them outside of Iraq or Syria.
However, Kerry said he does not expect military action outside of those 2 countries.